The show. I'm your host, the Token Mando. All right, we're gonna check.
We gotta make sure everything's going right. The fellas.
Exactly,
Yeah, I think there's
exactly.
just a little too much frame on the left side of the hammer. Nice to get Gabriel's hanging artwork in there.
All right, we got everything working. So today, we're interviewing you guys, seeing how you guys are doing, seeing how the products are going for you guys. You guys are you're the owner of Euphoria. All right, well, tell us a little about Euphoria Wellness and Siltonics.
Euphoria Wellness and Soultonics. To tell you about them, I originally started Soultonics in 2008 in Bozeman, Montana, right as I was graduating college. And to keep the story short, we ran Soultonics for quite some time. We were doing well. We didn't really know much about the game, but we were kind of new to the game and learning everything. I mean, almost everybody was very new. But we also then took our talents down to Vegas and were able to capitalize on that with our partners with Euphoria Wellness, and then we kind of grew that, learned how and where the industry was kind of headed. So we were able to say, okay, let's. And then there were some legal conundrums in Montana at that time. If you're aware of the system, it was like a caregiver system. It officially kind of opened up medically more like in the 2016 era. So right then we started our first Euphoria Wellness back up again in Montana, and then kind of just expanded that footprint from 2016 to 2020 in 4 different cities. We ended up in Butte, Missoula, Hamilton. Then we were able to kind of circle back and make our flagship store here in Bozeman like we've always wanted to do. And so if you are in the Bozeman area, I would say we're probably like one of the largest stores with the largest selections. That was kind of important to us. We were looking forward to how people were doing things in Vegas, and we were able to see all the different brands and products that they were carrying. And so we really wanted to make sure that we brought that into the Euphoria game here. And now as Soultonics, we pretty much are just another brand on the shelf, but one of the better brands on the shelf. We kind of represent the higher tier in the shelf space at most dispensaries. We take a lot of time to grow our cannabis, and we do it on the small batch. You've come out and seen our system. It's a very unique system. Not very many people grow like us.
I don't mean to cut you off. No, not very many people do. And honestly, I wish more people would, because it is one of the most efficient ways I've ever seen for growing cannabis. And I've been in the industry for a very long time. I've even worked for GrowGen and a couple of those other different companies. And honestly, seeing what you do, seeing your love for the plant is inspiring.
Yeah, we appreciate that. That's kind of what fuels us here. Almost everybody that works at our business here is super passionate about cannabis. That's our number one thing, is being passionate about cannabis and also the culture of cannabis. So, yeah, that's kind of a little synopsis of Soultonics and Euphoria there.
And if I remember correctly, you guys just took the Secret Cup home, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We won the Top Secret Cup for biggest mono crystal, and then also I think it was the best terps and sauce. So diamonds and sauce, basically. So yeah, they did a great job on that. Congratulations to the boys, but it's an entire team effort. It takes them growing the right plants, having them at the right time to then be able to extract them to properly to do all the techniques that they've done. But we're also really big on education here. So the guys from the lab had gone out to the Top Secret Cup, and that's where they learned all those techniques.
That's really, really cool. And it's cool because you can bring that back to knowledge back to here to Montana and grow that knowledge, which
Yep.
to me, that's one of the big things. That's one of the big things we have here for the show, is being advocates for bringing knowledge to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all dedicated for the viewers and making sure that they get what they need. So yeah, let us know on what.
Me so passionate about cannabis. So when I was about 14, that was the first time I ever got to take a really big hit. For me, I fell in love with the plant when I was 14. So I've loved this plant for well over a decade.
Got you. Okay, yeah, no, us too. I was actually very against cannabis.
Really?
Yep, for the longest time. I had a lot of friends that were kind of starting to do the cannabis thing in high school, the end of high school, is kind of when I first tried it. And the only reason I even did that was um, we had so I don't know, bet going on maybe. The bet was they were trying to tell me that no one had died from cannabis, and I just didn't believe it. And so we did a research thing for like 6 months, but turns out that no one's died from cannabis apparently. So I ended up smoking it.
Still pitching a shutout on the Big Death scoreboard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So.
that's awesome. That's I didn't mean to laugh, but I have a buddy who he was kind of very against it for many many years. He actually ended up getting MS,
Yeah.
and it's halted his disease.
Yeah. No, I've seen, and now over the years, I'm a line. We've designed the entire store to go with that in mind. Where it's like, okay, how can we? In the medical space that it was really hard for us to not take that into account, and that's why we do a lot of things here differently. Like, one is all of our strains from Sultonics are just priced at the same price for every strain, because every strain has a different healing power for different people, and we didn't want to charge based on different effects or potency or anything like that. Another thing that we do is we really try to make sure that the medical patients are taken care of. We do extra for medical patients here. They get better pricing and all that stuff. We definitely believe in the medical benefits of the plant.
Honestly, I'm a huge believer in the medical benefits. I have family who this plant has changed their lives. I have friends, close friends, that have changed their lives, and I've seen many different people over the years that has changed their lives. And honestly, it's probably one of the best things I've ever seen. So, I heard you guys are opening up a new store.
Yep, we got Great Falls coming online. I know I should have Nick answer some of these good questions.
You guys are doing a fabulous job. I love sitting here.
So,
But go ahead.
as you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no. No, we should have put you in the middle. No, I was saying we got Great Falls coming online, and then we also just got Helena coming online. They're actually open and going. Great Falls should be open next week, so that'll be great. That'll put us at 6 stores now. So the additional 2 stores right before, the so that is very interesting if you're not very, up with Montana legislature. They did do a freeze on the footprint. Some people thought that applied to only dispensaries, but it actually applies to all types of licensing. So it froze not only dispensing, but the MIP licenses as well as cultivation licenses. So there will be no more for the next 2 years at least. We'll see what happens after that in the transition phase.
I mean, and this is just me saying this. There are a bunch of stores who, unfortunately, are starting to close. Their licenses are still up for grabs. I'm sure you guys are going to still be able to grow with getting those licenses.
Oh, absolutely. Right now and unfortunately there is going to be I'm calling it the bloodbath phase in cannabis in Montana right now, because it's, where it's a little oversaturated. The market's going to correct itself. Things are going to be kind of changing. Nick's going to be out there fighting the good fight to make sure we stay on top.
So, and it's funny you mentioned that. I've seen this before down in California, down in the Vermont area, and in a couple places else. The Jersey market as well is starting to go through the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate hearing that, seeing that, because we're losing some good people in the industry, but it is something that happens.
There's definitely going to be, it happens in every industry, right? There's consolidation and things are taking place. Buyouts are happening. The same thing's happening in the cannabis space. I think brands that are positioned to be successful, obviously, if you have a great product, a great, something that you can stand behind, those things are just going to continue to sell. Also, when it comes to dispensing, it's what Nick's, saying all the time. It's all about bud tenders. It's about the experience that they're having in the store. And that's one thing we thrive to have completely different at Euphoria. Experience We want people to interact with the cannabis more than just, hey, tell the bud tender what you need or order from a menu. I want you to be able to look at all the products, see everything, touch the packaging, even if it's just the dummy packaging. But it's the ability to look through the store, which I think a lot of people are able to see and are like, wow, this is totally a different experience. As well as our bud tenders are very able to do a lot more things than most because we have faith in them and we have total trust in what they're doing. And so we're able to say, hey, if there is something that needs to be handled or a deal or something different that can be done, you're able to get that taken care of. If your customer has different needs slightly, and we can adjust and make sure that we're still doing everything by the law but perfect, we can make that happen.
Okay.
There is a point of overtaxation that can occur on cannabis products. So, out there, and it's everywhere. For their carts on the black market still, even though it's a get, and some of it's just due to legal, framework. Like, for example, we wouldn't
Remember, there's so many issues with that particular market as well, such as a lot of fake products, which ruins the brands that they are. A great instance of this is, if you guys remember the Kingpan brand from California.
No.
So this was a brand that was completely decimated by the black market.
Yeah, they were one of the first cart brands that had a good following, and then everybody ripped off all the packaging, and then they just made all the packaging everywhere. I kind of do remember that. Dime's been doing really good because they had that unique hardware, but
honestly, I've been looking at the Orchard's hardware. I think the Orchard's hardware beats that one a little bit.
Yeah, you've been trying the new Orchard hardware. That's we're looking into a lot of hardware for Sultanic side, but Euphoria side, man, they love working with Orchard and all the different brands. We're having great sales with Orchards.
Honestly, they have a really good company. They have really good products. Both Dime and Orchard are good products. And if I remember correctly,
and then we have 8 more cart brands over that. We have the Clear, you have
the Liquid Diamonds
from the Moon Rockets, yeah. And then we have the Liquid Diamonds. We have the Loud carts. We have carts from Lotus, right? That's the Lionheart carts.
White Lotus.
Yeah, and then who else is in the cart game? And then we just, like I said, corporate mids just got into the cart game.
Really?
Rising Tide.
No way. I'm actually, honestly, I love it.
We feel like it's an insider name, I know. So we're trying to really pop it up because it has nothing to do with being corporate or mids. It's totally the opposite, which we find kind of funny.
I don't know why. I think like a suit for packaging for that. That'd be hilarious.
We have, it totally goes off of Office Space.
I got you. That's great.
Yeah.
So, Nick, tell me a little bit more about your guys' new location and the opening of it.
You're out there in Great Falls on the side of town with some other dispensaries. It is a tiny location. As Sahil mentioned, here at Jackrabbit, it's our flagship location. We've got ample square footage to do a lot. The spot in Great Falls will be a little bit smaller. We'll have a reduced amount of inventory, but we'll still be able to offer the same spread of products. It may take a little longer to get them up there, but we still want those customers to have the same access to everything that people do in Bozeman. We have a varying price range that touches every category and every shopper so that nobody needs to be discouraged or nervous about coming into our stores. They'll be able to find that great quality selection that appeals to their budget and allow them to continue to shop with us on a regular basis. We know the folks in Great Falls need better product, more selection, and good prices and deals, and we can deliver all of that while bringing in that wellness portion and customer service to back all of that up. We know that Euphoria can stand above the competition there and really deliver the Great Falls market what they need and deserve.
That's really exciting to hear, especially because there's only very limited supplies up there. There's very limited dispensaries up there. That's really exciting to hear, especially how big that city is.
Mm-hmm.
Great. It's a good market. We've been trying to get into that market for quite some time. Obviously, the city is very difficult. I would say both, Great Falls, cannabis, as much as it is a lot easier to do business in Bozeman. Actually, it's funny to say, it's always been a lot easier to do business in Bozeman, even becoming one of the more difficult cities. They put a ban on dispensaries before Bozeman even got to it. But Great Falls has just been difficult. Even now getting that new licensing open is a little bit harder than any of our other spots.
Fortunate hearing, but it's also fortunate hearing that you guys are getting such an amazing spot. Like the difficulties that you guys had to go through, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, dude. We're so excited to open it. I mean, there's already people aching to get in. So, yeah, we haven't even opened the doors yet. So, yeah, man. You want to go check out the dispensary? Or?
Yeah, let's check that out. I'm gonna grab the camera.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll show you around.
Oh, I'm getting old.
I know we're all getting